Hey, it's Adam, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about the practice of surrender. And this is the heart of all spiritual teachings. This is the core. Every single religion, Buddhism, Christianity, Hinduism, all of the New Age spiritual teachings, all of the spiritual masters like Eckhart Tolle and Muji, and Ramana Maharshi and Sadhguru. You can see them online. This is all of their teachings distilled down into one very, very important principle. And that's called the practice of surrender. Now, when I'm talking about the practice of surrender, you probably think that you already know what I'm going to say. And you probably have heard this message before if you've heard other spiritual teachers. This practice of surrender is so fundamental to your happiness and your progress along the spiritual path, and is so fundamental to the amount of fulfillment that you get in your life. And it's also the hardest thing that you can do in any moment is to fully surrender to the present moment. All of your problems in your life, all of your suffering can be traced back to you resisting the present moment and not wanting to surrender. In fact, your entire life is literally structured, and your entire mind is literally structured so that you do not surrender to the present moment. This is a deep, deep structural problem with how your mind is actually wired. In order for you to practice surrender, you need to know about what the ego is. I have a video with more depth called What is Ego? But you are the ego. The ego is what you are. Hello, hi. Whoever I'm talking to right now, whoever you think I'm talking to, that's the ego. And you, in your life, you walk throughout your life, and every single second, every single moment, you're constantly manipulating the present moment. You're manipulating your body. You're manipulating your thoughts. You're manipulating other people so that it can be favorable for you. So you're literally changing your life and organizing it in a way that will bring you the most pleasure, the most comfort, and the most safety and security. That's what you do. That's your entire modus operandi in life, is so that you can be safe and comfortable and secure. And the way you go about achieving this comfort is by manipulating the present moment. And this manipulation is the root of all of your suffering, because you are trying to achieve peace and surrender. No, you're trying to achieve safety and pleasure so that you can relax. You want, really in your life, you just want to be peaceful and you want to be happy. So you go about being peaceful and happy by being super neurotic and anxious about every single detail of the present moment and trying to change it, trying to change your external circumstances so that you can finally relax and be happy. So you spend your entire life trying to put yourself in a position, an external position. So you want a nice house, you want a nice car, you want a sexy girlfriend or boyfriend. You want people to love and respect you. You want to be safe. You don't want to be around people who make you angry and frustrated. So everything you do in your life is so that you can basically avoid suffering and maximize pleasure. So this mindset right here is the default position that has been programmed and conditioned into you by our culture and also by your biology. As a biological being, you need to survive. But this mindset, counterintuitively, does not bring you happiness or peace. In fact, it brings you constant suffering. So when I talk about the practice of surrender, we are literally retraining our mind to do the opposite of what we've been doing our entire life. When you surrender to the present moment and you allow it to exist exactly as it is and you relax, you take a deep breath and you surrender and you allow everyone to do what they're doing. You allow your situation to be exactly the way it is. When you do that and when you practice doing that, you're literally killing your ego. Because you want to change the present moment. You want to distract yourself. You want to feel pleasure. You want to move your body in a way so that you can alleviate some pain. You want to be relaxed, but you do it through manipulating instead of relaxing. So the practice of surrender is the practice of relaxing and accepting the present. And this here goes so deep. You cannot relax and surrender if your life depended on it. Your life literally depends on you not being able to practice surrender. So you not surrendering is how you're continuing to live and survive in your life. But what I'm telling you is to do the exact opposite. And counterintuitively, your life and you as a person will thrive. So, what is surrender? What actually is it? So, the practice of surrender is feeling the present moment fully without any type of resistance. So, normally, we resist the present moment. If you've practiced any type of meditation, you've noticed this. You're always thinking about other stuff. You cannot be present if your life depended on it. If I said, here, I will give you $1 million for you to just relax and not think and just enjoy the present moment exactly as it is for 5 minutes. You couldn't be able to do it. You wouldn't. You literally, your mind is not wired to surrender and relax because you've spent your entire lifetime manipulating life. So the practice of surrender is to have an even mind and to basically not care about going anywhere, about getting or achieving anything, but just to sit and realize that this present moment is already full and perfect exactly as it is, so-called warts and all. So when you're practicing meditation, this practice of surrender becomes super obvious. You're sitting there and your back hurts, let's say, because you're not sitting properly, because you've been sitting in chairs for your entire life, and now all of a sudden you're practicing cross-legged sitting and it's hurting your back. So you're sitting there, your back hurts, and all you want to do is stop sitting there and you want to move, you want to adjust your position so that there's no more pain there. But when we practice surrender, we're sitting there and we're allowing the pain to be there. And we're feeling the pain, the texture of the pain, with an open-minded curiosity. What is pain? What actually is this feeling in my back? What is it made of? What is its substance? What is its texture? And we're allowing it to exist exactly as it is. And we're just observing it with curiosity. Because what the hell is pain? You don't know what pain is. You think you know what pain is. Oh yeah, pain is just a feeling in my body. But what actually is it? What is pain? If you practice a lot of meditation, you will see like, holy fuck, pain is really weird. When I was in Thailand, I was practicing meditation. I was sitting cross-legged for hours and hours and hours every single day, way too much. And my knees would hurt so much. The worst, most excruciating pain that I've ever felt in my entire life. And I would sit through it and surrender to it and observe it with curiosity. And then I saw that pain, you don't have to resist it. It's literally just a very uncomfortable feeling. And if you just relax and breathe and allow it to be there, you actually stop suffering from it. So you can sit in pain and be happy and relaxed and not suffer. That's why practicing surrender is so, so important. You can literally become Superman if you practice it enough. Your entire life will change. Nothing will ever be able to bother you. So when we're practicing meditation, we're literally doing nothing. We're sitting there and we're doing nothing intentionally, purposely, consciously. Doing nothing. So you're sitting there, your mind is going to want to think about stuff. You're going to want to solve problems in your mind. Like, okay, what am I going to do tomorrow? What time do I have to wake up? When do I have to catch the bus? But when we're practicing meditation, we're saying no. No thinking, no doing. We're just allowing everything to exist exactly as it is. So if you want to think about doing all that stuff, okay, if that's happening automatically, you're observing your mind thinking, but you're not going to intentionally do anything. You're literally sitting and relaxing. And for most people, 99% of people, including myself, especially myself, sitting and doing nothing is the hardest fucking thing you will ever do in your life. It's so hard. Sitting and doing nothing is the opposite of what your ego wants. You want to accomplish stuff, you want to do stuff, you want to chase pleasure, run away from pain. You have so much desire in you. You have desire, wanting things, wanting situations. And then when we're sitting there and doing nothing, our mind is going crazy. And it's our job to watch and surrender and relax. So why surrender? Why would I do this practice? Why would I sit and do nothing for half an hour? Why? What's the purpose? Basically, your entire life is manipulation. So all you do is manipulate the present moment. You change it. You try and fix it so that it's more favorable to what you think will make you happy. But when I'm practicing surrender, I'm not doing that. I'm doing the opposite. I'm relaxing and allowing the present moment to exist exactly as it is. The problem with manipulation is that manipulation is the root cause of all suffering. This is what the Buddha said. This is what every single spiritual teaching is about. In Buddhism, they say, desire is the root cause of all suffering. Desire for what? Desire for material pleasure, desire for the relief from pain, desire to be entertained. All of your desire is at the root, the foundation of all of your suffering. Now, when people hear this, they think, oh, okay, Adam, so yeah, I'll just practice meditation, I'll just do nothing, and then I'll never achieve everything in my life. And I'll never achieve anything in my life. I'll just sit down on my cushion and I'll surrender to everything, and then I'll just play video games and jack off and eat Cheetos, and then I'm gonna be I'm gonna be a spiritual person because I'm just gonna be doing nothing, like you said, and I'm not gonna have any desire. That's not what I'm saying. When we're practicing meditation and you're sitting there and you're observing your desire, you're going to realize that the desire to do nothing and to be lazy and to not achieve and to not help the world is a selfish desire. So there's different types of desires. Some desires are very, very selfish, egoic. Like you're sitting there and all of a sudden you start craving some pizza. You're practicing meditation, you're craving pizza. That desire can be let go of course. But there's some desires, like the desire to help the world, like the desire to help awaken humanity, the desire to self-actualize, the desire to make a lot of money for yourself, the desire to have a beautiful girlfriend. All of these desires, you can have them, but you have to let go of them. It's very subtle. So you can observe yourself having these desires, but you have to detach from the outcome. And that's what we're doing in meditation. So you're thinking about having a beautiful girlfriend, and you really, really want to have a sexy girlfriend so that you can show off to all your friends and so you can have amazing sex and do all the fun stuff you want to do. This want, if you're attached to it, that will cause you a lot of suffering because you'll be sad if you don't get that thing. But when we're observing our mind and our desires with detachment, then if I don't get a sexy girlfriend, I'm still happy. It's fine. The present moment is perfect exactly as it is. But also, if I want that thing, then I have no problem going after, let's say, having a beautiful girlfriend, as long as that is not taking away from my peace of mind and I'm not chasing after material luxuries at the expense of my own mental clarity and my own peace of mind. So another reason for why you have to surrender is because fundamentally you think that being happy means getting the things that you want. This is a fundamental delusion that has been taught to us from birth. And that basically the delusion is that right now is not good enough. And that moment over there, that different moment where the grass is greener, where I'm not sitting here with my knees hurting, but instead I'm taking a really hot bath and I'm all relaxed, that moment is better than this moment. That moment where I have $1 million is better than this moment where I only have $100. And this is a fundamental delusion that permeates deep within your mind and within our culture. It's a delusion. The delusion that right now is not good enough. So what we do in our life is we try and achieve peace of mind by shuffling around and changing the circumstances of our life. So we change where we live, we change who we surround ourselves with. And sometimes this is important. Sometimes if you live in a very toxic place, then maybe it's best for your health to move. Let's say your parents beat you or something, maybe it's best to move out. Or your girlfriend beats you, then maybe it's best you break up with her. But fundamentally, we need to practice surrender so that we can train our mind to be satisfied with what we have now. Because as every single millionaire will tell you, they will tell you money does not bring you happiness. Money can get you freedom, but it can also turn you into a slave of your desires and into a slave of your passions. That's why the monk who lives in a little forest hut in Japan and who doesn't talk to anyone ever, he does absolutely nothing. He just walks around, picks flowers, and carries rice. He can have a much, much, much more happy and fulfilled existence than, let's say, the richest, most powerful person in the world like Donald Trump. If you look at Donald Trump, do you think that he's happy and fulfilled as an individual? Or do you see that he's always constantly scared, he's always defending his ego? And this is just an example that power and status and fame and money and success is not what you want. What you want is peace of mind, that you think those other external things will get you, but really it starts internally. So instead of shuffling around the content of your life, what you're going to do is you're going to actually change your mind from the root, and you're going to change fundamentally how you relate to experience, how you relate to your existence. You're going to surrender to it. You're going to relax. You're going to observe the present with curiosity and detachment. And this practice is what is going to make you feel a lot more fulfilled, and what has made me feel a lot more fulfilled in my life, even though a lot of my circumstances have stayed more or less the same. Also, surrender literally helps you relax your body. If you're listening to me right now, relax your body for me, please, because you're probably super tense. You probably have tons of tension in your shoulders, in your calves, in your feet, in your face, in your throat, everywhere. You have so much tension in your stomach. When you practice surrender, you literally surrender that tension. Surrender it. Feel it fully. What is tension? Feel it. Observe it with curiosity. And you'll notice that it'll relax itself. And just this small little thing like relaxing your body is going to bring you a lot of peace of mind and a lot higher quality of life. You're going to be a lot less prone to disease and stress, and you're just going to be a more happy, chill, outgoing individual if you just relax your body. A lot of people, including myself, especially myself, we have really toxic habits like watching porn or smoking weed or watching TV or eating a bunch of food. And we do these things so that we can relax. But relaxing is not an action. Relaxing is the opposite. It's an inaction. It's a surrender. Relaxing is a surrender, not an action. We try and be relaxed by doing stuff. Like doing porn or like watching porn or smoking weed or taking some type of action to surrender. But we forget that surrender fundamentally is already present here in this moment. We don't have to add to this moment. We don't have to supplement this moment with some type of hedonic pleasure-seeking activity. We can just relax. right now. Just chill out, relax. And then a lot of your addictions will actually go away because you'll be able to surrender without having to smoke weed and without having to watch porn. And then you'll be a lot more fulfilled as an individual. So here are some examples, some real life examples that are perfect for practicing surrender in. Number 1, practice surrender while you meditate. This is what meditation is. This is why meditation is the most important habit you can have in your life. And this is why I never stop talking about it. Because meditation is the intentional surrendering to the present moment. So if your butt's itchy, if your nose is itchy, if you got boogers in your nose, sometimes I meditate while I'm sick and there's literally boogers dripping down my nose into my mouth and down my chin onto my shirt while I'm meditating. And I just sit there just like loving it. Because you have to surrender to that feeling. Because I see my mind telling me, yeah, wipe it, just wipe it. Yeah, just wipe it off. It takes 1 second. Just takes 1 second, just wipe it. Like, why do you have to sit here? There's boogers dripping into your mouth while you're meditating. We don't have to be sitting here doing this. You can literally just wipe it. It would take 1 second. But no, I'm seeing that that's a trick. My mind is tricking me. I think that I will be happier if there wasn't boogers dripping into my mouth and onto my shirt. But I see through that trick and I allow the boogers to drip into my mouth and onto my shirt. And I sit there for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, just boogers just coming down like a faucet. And I'm sick and my throat hurts and I'm exhausted and I'm cold and I'm shivering, but I'm still meditating because I'm realizing that if I can't be happy now while I'm cold and there's boogers in my mouth, I will never be happy, ever. So I surrender, I relax, I give in to the moment. I observe it with detachment. I feel it fully. How does it feel to have boogers dripping down into my mouth? How do they taste? They're kind of salty. Maybe how's the texture of the boogers? Feel it fully. If you find yourself like grossed out like at this idea of boogers in your mouth while you're meditating, then notice that. What is that? You're resisting the present moment. You're resisting the idea. Why? Why are you resisting? Just relax. It's okay. Sometimes I'd meditate in public. Once I was teaching a meditation class and we were practicing surrender and there were boogers dripping all down my face while I was teaching the class and everyone was looking at me. I was just sitting there just like a monk, like, and there's literally, and they were like, oh man, this guy's a good meditator. Because yeah, like if I'm teaching the class, I have to set the example that I don't give a fuck if there's boogers on my face. It doesn't matter. So that's enough about that. It's very important you practice surrender while you're suffering, while you're angry. Practice surrender while you're mad. How does it feel to be mad? You're so mad. Sometimes I meditate and I overhear people having conversations and it triggers me. It makes me so mad. And I just sit there and I just stew in that anger and I feel it. What is anger? And I'm mindful over it. Practice surrender while you're feeling jealous. What is jealousy? Observe it. Practice surrender while you're fearful. When you're scared of something. Why are you scared? Who is scared? Let's say you're jumping off the high diving board at the pool and you're scared of heights. Feel that fear in you. Feel it in your stomach. What is this? Breathe into it. What actually is fear? And then just step off and relax and enjoy it. Easier said than done. Practice surrender when you're bored. This is a big one. This is a big one. Practice surrender when you're bored. So if you're really bored and you're looking for something to do, this one right here will completely burn up your entire ego. When you're bored, you're looking for something. You're looking for stimulation, something, so that you can distract yourself from existing. But instead, sit there and observe what is happening when you're bored. Literally, you're trying to distract yourself from being present. Because God forbid you were present for 10, 20 minutes, maybe you would realize that you, the ego, are manipulating all of life and creating your own suffering. And you can't realize that, because that would be very painful to realize. So instead, you want to go on Instagram, you want to go hang out with your friends, you want to smoke some weed. God forbid you sat still for 10, 20 minutes. That right there, if you can surrender to boredom, you are the most powerful human being in existence. The head monks, a lot of the highest, the most accomplished monks who are totally enlightened, if they can sit in a room for 23 hours a day and do nothing and be happy and love it. They'll stare at the same wall for 23 hours and enjoy it, never get bored, because they realize the present is full. The present moment is fundamentally empty. If you search deep within yourself right now, you'll feel a type of emptiness. You'll feel it deep within you. It's literally there. It's like in your stomach somewhere. It's like an actual sense of emptiness. And then what you do your entire life, what you're trying to do is you're trying to fill the emptiness. But the sage is actually full in emptiness. Look, I got the Tao Te Ching right here. Listen to this quote. This is beautiful. Right here. Those who sustain Tao, meaning those who are conscious, do not wish to be full. Because they do not wish to be full, they can fade away without further effort. I love that stuff. They can fade away. They can relax. They don't need to put in any more effort into manipulating their life. The sage, the conscious person, can fade away without further effort. They can relax. They can be still. And that's what you want in your life. And that's why the practice of surrender will bring you a lot of consciousness and a lot of fulfillment and a lot of clarity, because you're rewiring the fundamental operating system of your mind, which is to manipulate. Instead, we're doing the opposite. We're not manipulating. We're intentionally stopping the manipulation. We're doing nothing. We're surrendering. How to practice surrender? I'm sure you heard me talk about it enough in this video, but you literally feel whatever you're resisting, you feel it fully. In this present moment, you're resisting something. There's something you're resisting right now, I promise. It's a body feeling. It's probably maybe a thought. You're resisting something. What I want you to do, find that thing you're resisting and feel it and breathe into it deeply. Breathe into it and relax. And relax. And this is how you achieve freedom from the tyranny of your mind. And this is how you achieve lasting peace and happiness in your life. So thank you so much for listening. I hope you practice surrender in your life. If you liked this video, leave it a like, leave me a comment, tell me what you liked, what you didn't like. I'm going to be making more videos like this. I have a bunch of videos, tons of ideas. I'm going to be uploading videos weekly. I have so many ideas. I'm literally just working through what I want my channel to be about. I know I want my channel to be extremely profound videos about self-mastery and achieving your full potential in life and working with your mind. And I'm just working out the details of exactly what I want my videos to be about. I have tons of ideas, flushing all of them out, making videos like this. I'm going to be pumping them out every single week. So if you like this video, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. I hope you have yourself an amazing life.